one of the big things that people worry about is what happens to my job.
Mhm.
And especially as a new person in a career, it seems kind of bleak to find a job. But I don't think I've talked to a single person yet who said that AI is actually going to remove jobs, even when they talk about, I've talked to a couple of people who do
Mhm.
customer support, and people love automating customer support, but even they think it's an underserved market. So there'll probably be more people and more AI working.
Yeah, I think it depends a little bit. I think there are certain roles that you're going to see go away or at least change significantly. And then there are others that you see added. I mean, we didn't
Yeah.
we didn't know what a prompt engineer was a couple of years ago. Now that's like an actual thing. But at the same time, personally, I'm observing that also us, like we are creating tools that are making specific roles more efficient. And then you have to think, okay, do I keep the output constant and therefore I work with fewer people in that specific role? Or do I keep the same amount of people because I need much more output? And there are instances, I think, where output is limited in what's needed. And so then, that's where you have to then re-educate people or readjust your workforce depending on the company that you are. Yeah. So, I mean, I share your sentiment. I think it's exciting. I think there are a lot of jobs that are going to be added that we don't even know about yet. But I do think beyond all the hype, it is good to have an honest conversation about the jobs that will be impacted negatively by this.
Yeah. I like that model though. The ones where you can expand the amount of output that you need from a role. I've worked for companies that have done quality control essentially before. So they're cost saving. And
Mhm.
when you're cost saving, you're not increasing output, you're just reducing the amount of input you take for the same output. And those kind of jobs definitely do go away.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think both can also be true. So I was speaking with a colleague at another education technology company, and they said that in their world, with the amount of people that they had in the content development division, they were able to produce 2 courses per month. And now with AI, they've been able to reduce their workforce in the content development organization significantly by around, I think he said something around 80%. At the same time, though, they produce 70 courses per month now. And so they've been able to dramatically increase output with fewer people. And so that's where I'm saying for that particular company, I think that is great. I think if you're an individual that's impacted, that's obviously not so great. And so that's where you have to see, okay, what do I do myself now? Do I have to upskill in a specific area? Do I need to go into an area that is less at risk from being either significantly enhanced by AI or maybe even replaced by AI? So yeah, but for that specific company, that's obviously financially an amazing outcome. They do 35 times as much output with 80% fewer resources.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that kind of leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they're profitable now as a result of implementing that, which they weren't before. So
Wow. Well, that's a big difference.
yeah, for us also, that is something that sort of we're seriously thinking about. We're in a different space. So I work for a company in the healthcare education technology space, and there we rely to this day still significantly more on human expertise because in the medical space, you want to make zero mistakes when you build educational content because those mistakes can be super costly. And so what we're seeing more is a shift of the role of a content creator from someone who writes all the courses and creates the SCORM files and all of that stuff to truly like the subject matter expert. So we have on former doctors and nurses on staff that we use to create our educational content. And those people are just that. They're former doctors and nurses. They're not necessarily writers. And so, with the internal tooling that we're building for them, they can focus on what they know best, which is the subject matter. And the writing component is something that we can abstract away from them so that they move more into the role of someone who validates the content.
I started this podcast because I wanted to stand at the gate of businesses using AI and see what separated hype from lasting impact. Back when cities had walls,
you had to go into the city to do business at the market. So, if you wanted to talk to someone, you waited by the gate until they came in or came out. Do that enough times and you could talk to everyone. That's what I want to do. Stand at the gate of people doing business with AI and talk to them, see what they do and why they do it. If you know someone that's making an impact in the world of AI, would you connect them with me? You can find me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email at daniel@manary.house. That's Daniel@MANARY.HAUS. Thanks for listening.